Alright, what's going on, guys? Trey back again here to bring you another video. This one's going to be talking about The Walking Dead's Merle. So we know that Merle is going to be returning in Season 3. A lot of people have been sort of talking. It's sort of kind of a fun discussion topic as to what happened to Merle from Season 1, the point where he was basically handcuffed to the roof. And then, of course, was able to use a rusty hacksaw to cut his cut his hand off and get out of there, then cauterize the burn with some fire downstairs at, was it a stove type area? I think that was the type of thing, and then get away. So it's pretty much implied that as the group came back in the, was it the third episode? No, the fourth episode of that season, and or maybe late third episode, I can't remember exactly, but and they come back to try to find Merle. They find that, and then they go back to their van, and their van is gone. So it is implied that he was the one that took the van, but we don't know that for sure because there was other groups in the area, like for example the Vatos and others as well. So it's not necessarily 100% that Merle did take the van. In fact, we don't know that for sure. Also, a lot of people have speculated that Merle was the one to quote unquote like lure the zombies back to the camp in season 1. The group of zombies that ended up killing Jim from a bite on his lower below his rib, and Amy in the first season. A lot of people are saying that they think that he lured them back or let them into the van and then brought them there and let them out and this kind of stuff. But I mean, the thing is that in the comic book, the same event happened, so it wouldn't make sense because in the comic book, there is no Merle. Merle is a character created for the television show only. And also, I just think it's kind of a little unrealistic that after he just lost his hand, that, that's the type of thing that he would do. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't get that. So, I don't see that as being realistic whatsoever. I don't like the theory, and I don't think it fits very well. In terms of what happened after that, up to the point that we're going to see him in season 3, I mean, we really don't know. We really don't know where he's been. If he's going to be part of the governor's group in season 3, which is a possibility at Woodbury. If he's going to be part of a different group, which is possible too, because it seems like to me Merle is the kind of guy that with losing his hand like that, you'd think he probably wouldn't be a leader of a group after that, like he probably wouldn't be leading his own group. I mean, maybe he could be, but I tend to think that he would kind of just meet up with another group. I'd like to see in season 3 them sort of introduce that, like show Merle on the roof, and then maybe show like a flashback, and then show like how he cut off his hand, or just like a music video type of like just real quick scene of showing him cutting it off and then running out the door, and then like just sort of like a memory like hashy, like maybe use some graphic effects on that too as he's cauterizing it and show his face like in agony and stuff like that, and then getting out of there and sort of showing who he met up with, and then showing him present day in season 3, depending on which group he is with. A lot of people have also said that they think that he could be sort of like, because he doesn't get along with others, it wouldn't make sense for his character to just sort of conform. But I think it kind of would if he found a group that could take care of him, that had a strong leader, like somebody like the governor, that he wouldn't really want to stand up to, because missing your hand like that, it's going to be difficult to defend yourself and stuff. It's going to be difficult to shoot. It's going to be difficult to, to do anything, really. I mean, it makes everything harder because then you're handicapped, right? Even fighting too, not having the fist there instead of just having like a stub is a big disadvantage because you can't really throw punches the same way. I mean, you can't throw a punch with a stub. You just can't. You can throw an elbow, but you can't throw a punch. So, and it's also, just grabbing things, wrestling, everything. I mean, it really makes the character a lot weaker, which is something that I'm pretty sure in the television show they're going to let Rick, spoilers for anybody who wants to read the comic book and hasn't. Okay. Yeah, in the comic book series, we know that, Rick obviously loses his hand too. And it sort of maims the character afterwards. Like, he's not, in my mind, he's not as strong of a leader as he could be if he had that hand. You're going to want to have that hand. So, in the television series, I think they're going to let Rick keep his hand, because I think it just does a lot to a character that really makes it hard for them later on to be a strong leader in this kind of stuff, because it's just obviously they're not as good at defending themselves as someone who is not handicapped, or well, I shouldn't say that, but as good as they would have been if they weren't handicapped themselves. So that's that. In terms of where we'll see him at in season 3, it's possible also that he could be a prisoner inside the prison, and when the group goes there in the first few episodes, they sort of meet him there, and he's just sort of surviving there. Or a prisoner of like sort of like an outcast of the governor, and when maybe some of Rick's group meets the governor's group, and he sort of throws them into their, I guess you call it like a jail type thing, or just captive, that maybe they'll bump into Merle there. I could see something like Daryl going out and meeting his brother again in that manner. That might make sense. So that would be kind of cool. Anyway, it's just kind of a fun discussion topic. What do you guys think has happened to Merle from after season 1? We saw him season 3. How would you like to see him introduced in season 3? Now you know how I would like to see it, sort of like a music video type, flashback of sequence of him, and just all the things he went through, and then sort of showing him present day. And do you think it makes sense for him to be a leader of his own group, or do you think not really, since he's lost that hand? He's probably going to end up being, like a lackey of the governor, or held captive or something for trying to, overthrow whoever the leader is of the group he's with. There is a possibility too. Could be that Dave and Tony from season 2 are not actually part of the governor's group. If that's true, if they're not part of that group, same with Randle, not part of that group. We all sort of assume they were, but we don't really know for sure that they are. There's a possibility that those characters could be part of like Merle's group or something like that too. So let me know what you guys think about it. It's kind of an interesting topic that should keep us busy for a little while, and I should have another Walking Dead video out in a few days. That's it for this one, guys. See you for the next one later. Peace.